Okay, now we'll move to the next topic, which is based on the concept of Raoult's law only, that is ideal and non-ideal solutions. So first we are going to discuss ideal solutions. Now, what are ideal solutions? Solutions which strictly obey Raoult's law over the entire range of concentration. Means the solutions which strictly obey Raoult's law are known as ideal solutions. Now, obeying Raoult's law means, what are the characteristics? PA should be equal to P naught A XA and PB should be equal to P naught B XP. The second important point is, for such solution, delta H mixing is 0. Now, what is the meaning of delta H? Delta H is the enthalpy change or heat change. So, on mixing, heat change is 0. Means when such solutions are formed, neither heat is absorbed nor heat is evolved. The third is delta V mixing is 0. Delta V mixing means volume change on mixing. So volume change on mixing is 0. Now what does it mean? It means that when such solutions are mixed, the volume of solution is equal to the sum of volume of the two components. No change in the volume is there. How to prepare ideal solutions? Such solutions are prepared, suppose two components are there. The first container is having component A, the second container is having component B. And on mixing the two components, I will get the solution. Now, in order to make ideal solution, I will select two components such that the two components have identical molecular size, which is practically not possible. And if molecular size are same, we have learned that intermolecular forces or van der Waals forces depend upon the size and surface area. So if molecular size is same for the two components, the intermolecular forces will also be same. So whatever intermolecular forces are there between A and A, the same intermolecular forces will be present between B and B. As a result of this, in the solution also, the magnitude of intermolecular forces will be same. So ideal solutions have similar AA, BB and AB attractive forces. Now, since there is no change in the magnitude of attractive forces, therefore neither energy is released nor absorbed on mixing the two components, because we have learned that whenever there is increase in the attractive forces, energy is released. That process is exothermic. And whenever the magnitude of attractive forces decrease, energy is absorbed. That is endothermic process. Since there is no change in attractive forces, so neither energy will be released nor absorbed. So delta H mixing is 0. Likewise, since the magnitude of intermolecular forces remains same after mixing also, so no change in volume, means volume of A plus volume of B will be equal to total volume of solution. So if I mix 50 ml of A and if I mix 50 ml of B, so total volume of solution will be 100 ml. So such type of solution is known as ideal solution. Now, it is not possible to make 100% ideal solution, because for making 100% ideal solution, we have to select any two components which have similar molecular size, which is practically not possible. But there are some examples which show nearly ideal behavior. And what are these examples? Benzene and toluene, the difference is only of CH3. N-hexane and N-heptane, the difference is only of CH2 unit. Chlorobenzene and bromobenzene. So these components, if you mix these components, they will form nearly ideal solution. Now listen very carefully. There is graphical representation of Raoult's law, because ideal solutions are those which obey Raoult's law. So now I am showing you the graphical representation of Raoult's law or graphical representation of ideal solution. The graph is between vapor pressure and mole fraction. So this is mole fraction and here it is vapor pressure. Now listen carefully. Suppose on the left hand side XA is 1 and XB is 0. Means in the container only component A is present. Now we'll apply the formula for Raoult's law, that is PA is equal to P naught A XA. So if XA is 1, that only component A is present. Partial vapor pressure PA would be equal to P naught A. So if XA is 1, vapor pressure is having the maximum value, that is P naught A. Now as we move from here to here, XA here it is 1 and suppose XA here it is 0. Now XA is decreasing. So if XA is decreasing, P naught A is having a constant value. So if XA is decreasing, PA will also increase. So suppose this is the graph. Now what this graph is showing? This graph is showing the value of PA. So what is PA? It is partial vapor pressure of A. So we can see from the graph that PA is proportional to XA. When XA is 1, PA is having the maximum value P naught A, and as XA is decreasing, PA is also decreasing. Now on the right hand side, if XA is 0, suppose XB is 1. So on the right hand side, suppose pure component B is present. So again we'll use the Raoult's law, PB is equal to P naught B XB. So if XB is 1, PB is having the maximum value, that is P naught B. So suppose this is my P naught B. Now see, if we move from here to here, right to left, XB from 1, it is taking the value to 0. Means XB is continuously decreasing. So what will happen? This will also decrease. So this graph is there. So what this graph is showing? This graph is showing the value of PB. So it is clear from the graph that as XA decreases, PA also decreases, and as XP decreases, PB also decreases. Now how to find out total vapor pressure of solution? We know this thing. PS is always equal to PA plus PB. So if I join these two things, so it will give you PS, and PS is equal to PA plus PB. So this is the graphical representation for Raoult's law. This is the graphical representation for the solution showing ideal behavior.